What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Pokemon Sing team. This one is for Patreon. If you want your theme team done, check it out in the description under the Patreon link. Blue, this one is for you, and happy birthday, man. So, all the sets were actually on the screenshot then. So these are Pokemon that Game Freak has used with Sing in them. So it's a very difficult team to use. Sing has very poor accuracy, but I came up with some, I had one more set that I wanted to come up with. There were 5 suggestions and I came up with a really good 6-1. Anyways, people, if you do want to battle me, check that out in the description of the video in my chat under there. I take battles at a random time every day. Now, if you didn't check out yesterday's video, the most weaknesses Pokemon team, YouTube did not send it out properly again. Make sure you check that one out. God, it's so annoying. I just wish they get their stuff together. Anyway, let's get into this one. So we're battling against Reaper Squirrel on my chat, and we have a interesting matchup here. So we have a Frostlass lead against my Kricketoo. Now, I will run you through these sets, but these were moves that were suggested for me to use. I did have one Pokemon that I'd come up with myself, though. So this was a Sing, Fell Stinger, Screech, Slash, Kricketoo with Technician and Cobra Berry, Max Speed, Max Special Attack. So, the good thing about Sing, even though it's a normal type move, it still hits Ghost, so that's quite good. Now, the problem with Sing, right, its accuracy is really poor, and a lot of these suggested sets, right, I had to break sleep clause, right, so I did give people a fair warning that, you know, weren't running the clauses on this battle, so it's not often that I do that, but it was pretty fun. Anyway, so swapping in the Jinx set, now this Jinx set is mine, and it's a pretty cool set. This is Max Speed, Max Special Attack. Actually, I'm feeling really better now. Like, I've stayed up for 24 hours straight, right, guys? But I'm feeling better. Like, I feel like this cold's going. Anyway, so I've got Sing, Dream Eater, Miracle Eye, and Mean Look with a Dry Skin and with Wide Lens. So you trap them in, put them to sleep with Sing, and then Dream Eater their dreams away. Anyway, so swapping in the Altaria. Now, this is, let me go over this one, bring it up. So this was a Sing, Moonblast, Dream Eater, and Cotton Guard set with Natural Cure and Wide Lens as well. It didn't have any recovery, it was just like a bulky set. Anyway, so I'm going to get to, this was really, really annoying to get past this Frostlass. It was a pain in the ass. It was a Parahax, Attract, Draining Kiss, and Confuse Ray. It was so annoying. And also the Cursed Body as well on my Jinx. I was really unlucky because Dream Eater was my only, attacking move, so I had to swap out. Anyway, so it's going to keep going for a Confuse Ray. Now, this is a really, really long video. Make sure you stick around for the whole thing, though. It was very, very good. Just get some popcorn or something to eat, or some food or dinner or drink. Sit down and relax, because we got 2 really long battles. Like something else. But seriously, guys, these battles were very long because of just the general nature of using Sing over and over again, putting the opponent to sleep, then having to use a move afterwards to attack them. Made these battles, both these battles were 50 turns long, and they were very, very long. Anyway, so we have the freaking Frostlass using bloody Thunder Wave against me again. This was starting to really tick me off. I was getting pretty salty at this point in the game. Anyway, so it's going to keep going for the Draining Kiss. And obviously it's a bulky set, and it's not doing too much damage with Draining Kiss, but it's just enough to restore a bit of its health. Anyway, so trying to get through this freaking Parafusion, and Sing hits this time, which is great. So that's asleep. That's good. Now, the problem with this team, right, it was heavily walled by steel types. It had like a plethora of weaknesses. It was just so crazy, like how easy this team could be stopped, right? And obviously it was based on luck too. It's not like you're using Spore, which is 100%. Sing is very, very difficult to use because of the accuracy, but it's fun. That's what I did like using it. So anyway, the Frostlass is asleep for about the 2000th time. I'm going to snap out of Confusion, and I'm going to go for the Dream Eater again, doing lots of damage. It just hangs on, so I only need one more Dream Eater to take this thing out. The good thing about Dream Eater as well, it actually gives me health back as well. Okay, anyway, so Frostlass is going to stay asleep. Thank goodness. I went for the Dream Eater again. Sorry, the Sing. I expected them to actually wake up. That's why I went for Sing again. They're going to wake up and use Draining Kiss again. So I usually with Sleep, right, it normally lasts about 2 turns on average. So that's why I went for Sing instead of going for Dream Eater. I kind of wish I went for Dream Eater. But I thought, well, if they're going to wake up and then do some other like a Confuse Ray again, that'd be really annoying. I should just go for Sing. Anyways, that wasn't the case. So Frostlass is still hanging around. Oh, and it's woken up. So I'm going to have to put this thing to sleep and go for Dream Eater again. I get paralyzed. This is so frustrating. Like, can you feel my salt through the screen, people? Can you feel my salt? Anyway, so Frostlass is going to go for yet another Confuse Ray number 1000. And I'm going to get confused again. I went for another Sing this turn because I want to put this thing to sleep, and a couple of my Pokemon benefited from the opponent being asleep, or they just had Sing on their moveset. They didn't necessarily have to have Dream Eater. That was the sets they had. But there were some pretty interesting sets. Now, if you can't remember what the sets were, it is in that screenshot at the beginning of the video. So going for the Dream Eater again on the Frastus, finally taking this thing out. Oh my goodness, it took so long to take that out. Like, what did that take? Like, it almost took me like 6.5 minutes into the battle to take it out. So that was about 15 turns just taking that one Pokemon out. Now we have the Ordino, which is definitely not going to be Mega. Now, the only thing I can do is go for the Sing and the Dream Eater again. It's very bulky in special defense and in health, so I was like, if I can get one off, that'd be nice. Maybe two if I was lucky. I wasn't sure if it was going to have a recovery or anything. Guys, there's a white cast form on its stomach. Anyway, so it's going to go for a knockoff, and that's going to just absolutely wreck my Jinx, taking it out in one shot. So it's a physical set. It's going to knock off my wide lens. That's probably why I hit so many. That's why I hit so many things. Now, people, I actually got 2 sweeps of this team. I got a sweep with. Actually, I haven't actually showed those Pokemon yet. I won't say that quite yet. We'll get into that a little bit further in a minute. I almost blew it then. Anyway, so we have the Ordino going for the last resort. So it's a knockoff last resort set, which is going to absolutely shrek my Kricketune. So that's down. Now, where are we up to? We're up to Primarina. Now, Primarina, Game Freak's Sing set for Primarina was really, really bad. So it had Hyper Voice, it had Sing, it had Disarming Voice, and Growl. So they're all sound-based moves. It had Torrent and Normalium Z. Sing, Normalium Z. So what Sing, Normalium Z does, obviously it uses the move Sing, but it gives you a plus in speed too. So it's boosting your speed, and hoping, yeah, it's basically a poor man's Z Hypnosis. So Z Sing misses, which, you know what? Out of all the battles I did, I don't think I had landed that once. Anyway, so going for Sing again, and it finally hits, which is cool. Now I can just spam Hyper Voice or whatever. I was even thinking of using Growl. So since I had Growl on my moveset, I'm like, I want to use Growl. Bugger it. So dropping the attack of the Mega Rodina, the physical last resort Mega Rodina, I quite like that set. That's cool. Anyways, so the last 2 Pokemon haven't come out. They're the ones that I actually got a sweep with. I'll get into that in a second. I'll show you how they work. So some of them are really scummy. So we have the another last resort from this. The good thing about this, it doesn't have a lot of power points in its last resort. Like, it only has 8 at max. So if I was able to deplete all them, it'd only be stuck with knockoff. Anyway, so we have I nearly called that Venomoth. Oh my goodness, I nearly called that Venomoth, and I nearly called it Toxicroak. Dustox finally comes out, and it's going to get hit by the Hyper Voice. It's about a 4-hit KO, maybe a 3-hit KO if I get like all max damage rolls. Now it's going to hit me with a Toxic, so that sucks. There's not really much I can do to heal this. It is what it is. I've got to try and get as much damage off as possible against it. It possibly could have Roost as well. So now I was like, let's go for Sing and hope it hits. It does hit, which is nice. I like the Sing animation too. So that's going to be Dustox asleep, and hopefully it's going to stay asleep long enough for me to take it out. So the problem here was I was actually poisoned, so I only had borrowed time. I had probably 2 turns left before my Primarina was going to go down. So going for the Hyper Voice, which was my strongest attack. This was the set that had the strongest attack on it. All the others were just rubbish. Disarming Voice, you couldn't miss with it, but it has like 40 base power, so it's really bad. The noise if we've used Disarming Voice before, the actual animation noise is so funny. Anyway, so it's got Bright Powder, that's why my move missed, and it's going to use Roost, so I'm like, this is almost equally as annoying as that Frostlass beginning set. So my Toxic is slowly whittling my health down, and that is Primarina basically out of this battle, unfortunately, but I've got to bring something. There's nothing like a nice bud. Anyway, so bring in another Pokemon, being the Cincinnati, and this is the Pokemon I got the sweep with. Now, it's kind of similar to the standard set Skill Link 1, but it's a little bit different it's got a couple of key aspect differences. So, on this set, if you didn't actually read the screenshot, it's got Double Slap instead of Tail Slap, so it's a little bit weaker. I've got Normal Gem to power up the Double Slap. I've got Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and I've also got Sing, and I've got Skill Link, and I've got Normal Gem, as I said. So it's a little bit different. So anyway, going for the Rock Blast against Venomoth, I did Dustox, and I'm going for that again. That's going to be enough to take it out. Oh, I'm seriously getting my poison bug Pokemon confused today. Anyways, it just feels so good to be able to speak again without having too much crap in your throat and coughing all the time. It's good. It's really good. Anyways, so now we have the Walrein coming out. Now, I've got Rock Blast and Bullet Seed on this. This would be nice. However, it wasn't 100% confident we'll take it out, but I decided to go for it anyway. So now we have the Giraffrig coming in. I went for the Bullet Seed. Now, however, it's going to have Sap Sipper, which is going to give it a boost in its attack. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. I've got the Poison up as well, so that's going to do more rounded damage. So I thought about swapping it, but I thought there's not much I really want to swap into it. Let's go for the Double Slap and see how much damage it could possibly do. Our normal gem is going to give me a little bit more power as well. So spanking that giraffe there on the head, actually, and that's going to hit 5 times. I always see these sets with... Commonly, you see this with, like, Choice Band, or mainly Choice Band, and King. You could run the Scummy King's Rock set too. It's a gimmick, but you need to keep getting those flinches. Anyway, so I'm going to get hit by the Zen Head, but I actually lived that one, and that is Cincina down. So that tells me that Giraffrig is bulky there, because I actually gave it a boost in attack. So Cincina is down, but that's all good. I probably called it Mincino in this battle as well. So swapping at Altaria. Now, this Altaria set, right, was just a troll set. It had Sing, Moonblast, Dream Eater, and Cotton Guard. So the way to get your health back, you had to hit them with Dream Eater and Sing. So going for the Sing, it lands on the Giraffrig. It was surprising the amount of times I hit Sing right. This team, I could hit Sing with a lot of times. Like, most of the time, I'd always miss with Sing in any other battles, but these, consistently, I'd have a good... Out of all the battle, I'd have about an 85% hit rate with Sing. So it's pretty good. It's higher than the percentage of the move itself, which is quite funny. Anyway, so the Giraffrig is going to stay asleep. I'm going to go for Cotton Guard here because I've got no recovery, but I thought since it's got that Sap Sipper boost, it might be good. I might be able to live a couple more turns. So now I can freely go for the Dream Eater or the Moonblast. I decided against going for Dream Eater because, one, it's not very effective, and two, the Giraffrig could wake up. And going for the Moonblast there anyway, and it's just not enough to take it out. It has terrible special attack. The Giraffrig is going to wake up and go for the Zen Headbutt. Since I've got all that bulk now, I've got a drastic raise in defense. It's going to do absolutely nothing. The next Moonblast is going to be enough to take it out. So that's the Giraffrig down, which is nice. Need a drink of water. Okay, so now we have the Mega Ordina coming out. Now, once again, there wasn't much I could do apart from going for the Sing and the Dream Eater. Knockoff is going to do nothing. It takes off my wide lens. Sing misses. I'm like, damn. I really needed that. I really needed that wide lens, people. Anyway, so the Ordina is going to go for the last resort. I live on 1 health and get the Sing off. What? No way. So I'm able to get that off, and that's going to land without the wide lens. So this is good. That means I can use Dream Eater, or they're going to have to swap. I think they're probably going to stay in there because I'm only on 1 health. I'm not exactly a threat. So going for the Dream Eater anyway. It does fair damage to Mega Ordino. I was hoping I could get like enough Dream Eaters off to starve off another last resort and maybe take this out. I know it was wishful thinking, but I was going to try and do it anyway. So the Mega Ordino is going to stay asleep. Even the little cast form on its stomach's asleep. Now going for the Dream Eater again. So I need probably 2 more to take this thing out, getting some more health recovery. So here I was thinking, well, it's probably going to wake up this turn. Let's go for Moonblast. However, once again, I got trolled by that. The Ordina is going to stay asleep. However, going for the Moonblast wasn't too bad because I'm still attacking it, right? So 1 more, it's going to go down to another Moonblast, and that's good. Now the Mega Ordina is going to wake up and go for the last resort. Now, since I had those bulks in defense +3, I'm able to tank it again, taking out the Mega Ordina with Moonblast. So, man, Altaria really worked then. Even without recovery, like Roost or something like that, it still worked with the Dream Eater. Okay, so fairly even battle moment. Now, this is where the battle got very, very long. So we have the Lucario. Now, he went for a Vacuum Wave to finish me off. I was like, this would be funny if I actually live this one, but I don't. I was going for Sing on this turn, and that is Altaria down. So I'm down to my last Pokemon. Now, this Pokemon I got a sweep with. It was actually fairly easy to do, but it's such a troll set, right? Let me run you over. So this Gardevoir was a Stored Power Thunderbolt Calm Mind Double Team set with Bright Powder. It was so scummy. So the idea with this set is to spam Double Team as much as you like, because we all know how balanced it is. And we've got Calm Mind on this set too to even further boost the power of Store Power. So Double Team is giving Store Power boost as well as Calm Mind, and it hits like a truck after you get like so many boosts up. Now, the thing about this was the Lucario actually was copycatting my Double Team, so we're actually both boosting in evasion, which was quite funny, and this is why this last little bit went for a while. So I was like, well, I could get a few up, but then it's probably going to be an issue because I'm not going to be able to land any hits on the Lucario. However, it's going to not be very effective against me if the Lucario does use Store Power. So going for another double team here. I had a couple up by now. I was like, I'm going to go for attack this time. The Lucario's going to copy another one. Now, Store Power hits. I'm like, wow, it just lives. Then the Lucario went for the Store Power and it hit also. What? Then I went for another Store Power and it hit. Those evasion boosts, they didn't mean shit. Like, what the hell? The last Pokemon is the Warrain. Going for Store Power. The Warrain tanks it there, eats a berry, goes for the waterfall, and that is enough to take out Warrain. And man, what a crazy game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let's get on to the second one. This one was against Nacho on my chat. Nothing like a bag of nachos. So, using the same team, obviously. And now we have the Silvally Fire. So, leading things off with Cincinnati. Yep, Cincinnati this time. I always get those two mixed up. So, this was the Skill Link normal gem set. Okay. Anyway, so we have the withdrawal straight at the start. Now, this was painful, right? This was the Frostlass of the first battle. So, going for the Sing on the swap, which was the Klefki, which is good. That put it to sleep. I was like, that's nice. Once again, there's not really much I can actually do to it. So Klefki obviously has Prankster, that's why I went first. I'm going to go for Double Slap. This is the only move I can really hit with it. It's the highest base power move that I can do. It's Stab. Like, it's the best thing I could possibly do. Like, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Sing, and Double Slap. I could do nothing to this. So spanking those keys there, and look, guys, look how much it's doing. It's doing nothing. So it's gonna be about a 2,000 hit KO against Klefki. Klefki is going to wake up here and go for a Toxic. I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. So I'm Toxic. My choices here are to swap out and go into another Pokemon that none of my Pokemon can touch this at all. Like Steel types. So annoying. Anyway, so I decided to just hang in there and go for more Double Slaps, hoping this thing didn't have any recovery because I'd start to get a little bit salty. So I get a critical hit there, which did so much damage. I'm just keep going for the Double Slap. It's the best I can possibly do against this thing. That's 5 hits now, so I'm going to get hit by the Poison. I wasn't sure if this had any offensive moves like Foul Play or anything, or Dazzling Gleam or whatever. However, they're going to swap out their Klefki, and the Cofferegus is going to come in, so it's a Ghost type. It's going to be able to sponge my normal type move. Now, though, as I said, there wasn't much I could do to this. I could go for a Sing. I was thinking going for a Sing. I was like, let's go for Sing. Let's see if we can actually hit this one. So, going for the Sing, and unfortunately it misses against Cofferegus. Cofferegus is going to go for the Curse. So, Curse is an interesting move. Normally it boosts your defense and attack by 1 stage and drops your speed. However, if used on a Ghost type, it cuts your health down to half and puts a Curse on the opposing opponent, being me, and that does a quarter of your health every turn until you swap out. So a very cool move on Ghost Pokemon. I like Curse on Ghost Pokemon. It's cool. Anyway, so I'm on 69. I mean 59 health. Swapping Sinto out. I'm going to make it live and let it fight another day. So it's going to be mean looking my Altare, which isn't all that bad, I guess. I've got Sing on this one too, so I'm happy to Sing the Coffin. So going for Sing again, and this time it hits. I'm like, yes. I love the fact that you can use Sing again. It's a normal type move against Ghost types. It's really unique. So anyways, the Cofferegus is going to stay asleep. It's on half health. I wasn't sure if it had anything like Pain Split. Normally on Curse you'd run Pain Split. So going for the Dream Eater anyway. It doesn't do a lot of damage. I still need 2 more to actually take it out. Cofferegus wakes up first turn, then goes for a Curse. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. So it's going to take itself out, and that's going to put a Curse on my Altare, which is going to do a quarter damage to me. I don't have a recover, so it's kind of bad for me, but it was kind of good that I got around Cofferegus. Like, I didn't really, on this team, right, I didn't really have any huge hitting moves. Like, seriously, the most powerful move on my team was, the most powerful one was probably the Gallade, right? And that was just a troll set. And probably the Dream Eater Jinx, right? They were probably the 2. And obviously the Mincina. They're probably the most strongest Pokemon they had. Anyways, we should say something. So now Sylveon's going to come in. I'm going to put that to sleep with Sing. The good thing about this is I just didn't miss very often with Sing. It was great. So going for another Curse on me, unfortunately. So I need... there's an odd number on my health, so I'm gonna allow it probably to live for another 2 turns. And plus I'm gonna get a health recovery back from the Dream Eater. So going for Dream Eater on the Silvally, not the Silvally, the Sylveon. Sorry, I'm getting them 2 mixed up. That's gonna stay asleep, which is good. So any fairy type moves is probably going to wreck Altara. Plus the Curse is hitting me hard. I thought about swapping out here, but I thought, nah, I'm just going to stay in because it's already lost a lot of its health. I don't have much recovery, or I was thinking maybe I could swap it for later on. I wasn't actually sure at this point, so I decided to swap in Cincino, hoping I could get a free swap in and go for the Double Slap maybe against this thing and do a little bit of damage and go down to the Toxic afterwards. Okay, so the Toxic is on its first stage, so I know that I could probably live like 1 or 2 more turns. So going for double slap anyway, it's doing okay damage to Sylveon. Sylveon is fairly bulky in special defense, not so much in defense, so that's why I swapped it in. So give me a couple of slaps across the face, and it's doing pretty good. So I need 1 more double slap to actually take this thing out. Unfortunately, it wakes up. However, it uses Curse, so it's a bulky defensive physical Sylveon. So it's like, this is going to be difficult. Like, I know another double slap is not going to be enough to take this out. There's no point me going for a Sing because I'm going down the next turn to some my poison damage. So I was like, let's go for Sing again. I might be able to get a setup on another Pokemon. Let's see what we can do. I might be able to swap in Altara then and go for Dream Eater or something along those lines. So Sylveon is going to stay asleep, and Sing hits again. I'm like, damn, it hit again. So Cinccino is going to be able to just live this one, and I'm going to go down the next turn, which is fine. Going for double slap, which is stab against stab on Cinccino. Now, obviously, I was hoping I'd get a critical hit, but with that +1 in defense, there was no way I was getting through it. But it was all good. The Sylveon stayed asleep, and it was on low health, which put it in range for me to revenge kill with some of my other Pokemon. So that's good. That's down. My Cinccino was going to be going down to this turn to Toxic 2, and all I had to do was revenge kill this. So the Cofferigus was a big pain in the ass as well. I was so glad that was out of the way. The other pain in the ass was Klefki. That was a real worry. Anyway, so Sylveon is going to be sleeping still. I'm going to go for the Fell Stinger, hoping I can get the kill. I get the kill with Fell Stinger, so that was really good. So that was a critical hit. It could have mattered too. I definitely think it mattered. So with Fell Stinger, if you do KO the Pokemon on that move, you get a +3 in special attack or a drastic boost, which is pretty scary. So now we have the Klefki coming in. So like, I'm completely walled by this thing, but it's like, let's just go for it anyway. And unfortunately, it's going to miss. The counter's going to miss, so that was funny. They expected me to go for a physical move. Now, it's going to go for the U-turn against me. So I was like, okay. The U-turn does a lot of damage. So it's like, okay, I know exactly what's going on there now. So now we have the Klefki coming back in again. So going for the Screech. And that's going to drop the defense of the Klefki. So obviously it's a Zoroark. That was pretty obvious. So now we have the Klefki going for the substitute, like bugger. The good thing about this is, I had a couple of people, this is a classic example, use this substitute against me. Since Sing is a sound-based move, it gets through sub, which is really cool. And it hit again. I had a couple of moves, especially my Primarina, that was like busting through subs with all its sound-based moves too. I've actually done a sound-based moves-only team a while ago. Anyway, so going to try and break that substitute on the Klefki. As I said, it's only on borrowed time. It obviously doesn't have any recovery, as I haven't seen yet. So, the Klefki is going to go for another substitute because it wakes up. I'm like, damn, that really sucks. And then it's going to have a berry. I'm like, damn, that really sucks. So it's going to get lots of its health back with the Agwave berry. So all I got to do is I just got to keep pressuring this thing, right? I've got to keep getting rid of its subs and putting it down on low health. So I have enough to break its substitute because I've got the +3 in attack, which is nice. Now the Klefki is going to go for the Toxic, so that sucks. Now I'm also on a fixed amount of time. So I've got to take this thing out before Toxic takes me out. Or at least get it in range so I can revenge kill it, or at least have its substitute exposed so I can take it out later on. So going for the Fell Stinger does lots of damage. I probably need 2 more hits to actually take it out, or 1 if it's a max damage. However, I was thinking I was in a pretty good position at the moment. However, Klefki is going to go for another substitute. So I'm like, that's cool. It's got a sub up. I can get rid of its sub this turn. And, then take it out. So going for another Fell Stinger on the Klefki. That's going to break its sub, and that's cool. That is down. The next turn, I can just revenge kill it with my Kricketune, or, take it out with another Pokemon if it has hiding another move. So anyways, it's going to go for a really trolly move here, being Recycle. So it's going to recycle its berry. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sick of these bulky Pokemon. So it's going to get eat its berry and become K. And my poor Kricketune, like my poor Kricketune. Anyway, so going for Fell Stinger again, still doing pretty good damage against the Klefki, putting it in low red again. So it's going to have to go for another recover. Slowly, my health's going down to Toxic. So I'm going to go down the next turn. However, the Klefki is actually going to go for an Iron Defense. I was like, oh no. So Iron Defense is going to boost its defense by +2 stages. So I only have a +1 in attack now. And I knew that was not going to be enough to take out Klefki. Oh, damn, so salty. Now, the Toxic is going to be enough to take out my Kricketune. However, the Klefki is in range to kill, but it can use Recycle as well. So, swapping in Gardevoir, the scummy double team set. I just went for the Thunderbolt here to take this out. It's going to go for a Toxic instead of going for the Recycle, so I guess that's good. That's good for them because this is the Bright Powder set. I was low-key hoping it would actually miss with the Bright Powder. Synchronize is not going to work because it's a Steel type. The amount of times I had Synchronize run against me with Pokemon that are the same types, or like a Pokemon that's a Steel type that is a Poison type mover, or Electric type Pokemon that paralyzes me that will be Electric type. Happened so many times. Anyway, so obviously we knew Zoroark was here. We already knew about that one. The best I can possibly do here is swap out. I really don't want to take anything from this. I've got a plan, and I want to try and save my Gardevoir to the end. So swapping into Altara anyway, I thought that was the most... I thought that was the best swap-in because it already showed off that it had U-turn, and I thought that would be a good swap-in for it. So, I'm hanging on the ropes here with Altaria. Now we have the X-Cloud coming in, so I was like, oh, this could be tricky to take out. It's quite a bulky Pokemon itself. Even a sweeping set is quite bulky. So, Singer's going to miss. I was like, oh my goodness, I hope this thing actually doesn't have soundproof because I'm going to get countered so hard. Anyway, the Altaria is going to go down to the Rock Slide. It seems to be a physical set. Alright, so I was thinking, I could bring in Gardevoir here or I could bring in Primarina. What are my options? I decided to bring a Primarina, and I was like, I could go for the Z-Sing on this, or I could go for Hyper Voice and just do some damage, I guess. So now we have Steel Valley coming in. I didn't have any Water-type moves on this at all, so it was very, very risky for me. Like, normally all the time, like, I could use, like, any kind of, like, Water move at all. Even a physical set with, like, Waterfall or Aqua Jet would have been nice. So going for the Z move, Z-Sing again, and it misses. So we have the Fire Steel Valley, which I knew you couldn't use any Fire-type moves against me, which would be really, really quite bad. Going for the Hyper Voice does okay damage. Now the Steel Valley is going to go for a Thunder Wave, so that's interesting. I'm going to be paralyzed, which kind of sucks. So that's going to get rid of my speed boost from the not Hypnosis, Z-Sing. Anyway, so the Steel Valley is going to go for the Parting Shot. That's going to drop my attack and special attack by one stage and scout it out of there, which is kind of annoying. Now we have the X-Cloud coming in. So we have that at full health, and I was wondering what move is going to do. I get paralyzed on the spot, which sucks. So that's kind of annoying. I would have liked to get some damage off of that. So now it's going to go for the Smelling Salts, and oh boy, that's so much damage. Smelling Salts is a very unique move. When the opponent is paralyzed, it actually double in base power as it slaps you across the face. It is a brutal move, and it's stab on X-Power too. So bring in Jinx. You guys know this set. This is the Mean Look Dream Eater set. With Miracle-Eye. I've got Miracle-Eye on this tier, Dark types too. You could also run Trick and Ring Target if you wanted to. So now we have the Steel Valley coming in. I land with a Sing, which is really nice. So I was like, well, I could get some nice Dream Eater kills on this. It's probably going to take about 2 because Steel Valley is generally bulky in its stats. So I need 1 more to take this out. However, if it does wake up and hit with a Fire type attack, yeah, baby, it's over. So anyway, going for the Dream Eater, and thank goodness it didn't wake up that turn before, and that's enough to take out the Steel Valley, which is cool. So the next Pokemon, or the last 2 Pokemon left are the X-Cloud and the Zoroark. So now we have the X-Cloud coming out. You'll never guess what this one is. It's going to go for the Pursuit, so it's the Zoroark, and even I nearly swapped out them, but it didn't even matter anyway because it took me out without swapping out. So Jinx is down. The last Pokemon I've got is a Scummy Bright Powder Stored Power Gardevoir. Confused Gardevoir. So now we have the X-Cloud again. It's going to have to swap out because Pursuit is a nice move to lock into. I'm guessing it's locked into Choice Scarf or Choice Band. So now we have the actual X-Cloud coming out. I went for Double Team on the spot because I thought that it stacked nicely with Bright Powder. And I might be able to avoid a couple of attacks from this thing. Like even it stabbed Smelling Salts without the paralysis when it was going to hit me fairly hardly. Because Gardevoir isn't the most bulky in defense. So going for the T-Bolt, hoping I get a critical hit or a Parahax against this thing. It just doesn't do enough. Now the Smelling Salts is going to hit me, and that does a lot of damage, and the Toxic is enough to take out my Gardevoir, which sucks. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Now, the bonus battle is so freaking long, right? It went for 60 turns. You got to stick around and watch it. It was very, very entertaining. Peace, guys.